What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another amazing episode and interview here on the Veteran Influencers Podcast. Once again, it's your boy, Chris Levine, and as always, we always have an amazing guest. And my guest to my left, her name is Yaritza Perez. She is a prior Marine, joined in 1999. You know, she's a little bit salty, you know what I'm saying? She's a 1391 boat field specialist. And I actually met her through Instagram, but we also had a few mutual friends. So the majority of what I've seen her doing is on her page is a fitness page, which is absolutely amazing. Legs Like Me, and I'll leave that linked into the video as well. But she's also involved in a lot of nonprofits and doing a lot for this world and also for the veteran community. And she is a mother of a wonderful daughter. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our guest, Yaritza Perez.
Thank you. What's going on? How are you? What's going on, Chris?
Hey, I am absolutely amazing. I'm watching my background start tripping out right now. Hopefully it kind of stops that, but...
Man, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's super dope to be able to hop on your platform and talk about some of the work that I'm doing in the community now, some of the work that I've done. And I don't know, hopefully be able to make a little bit more of a ripple in the lake.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, it's the fact that we have mutual friends and that, I saw you on Instagram, and I don't try to reach out to everybody, but your profile definitely stood out to me. And I do like your content. I knew I had to have someone like you on the, on the podcast. So thank you for being you. So you're already doing great things.
Yeah, man, it's a super small Marine Corps, right? You hear that all the time. While on active duty, and even now, like I've been out the Marine Corps for a little bit, and I mean, I still bump into people like, oh, you know, so and so, like, yeah, I know him. I was stationed with them and back in Okie, or out in Cali, or just running into some Marines even now, like in Orlando, which is pretty wild because this is very much not Marineville here. I went from San Diego living in the trenches, and to go from like Marineville, USA to like Orlando, Florida, which is nothing but like Disney and like happiness and family. It's very not Marine here. So to run across some of my Marines from time to time is a really good gift. Little surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always great to see people that you wouldn't expect to see, and like during certain situations, like going on leave into like another state, you see people like, yeah, what are you doing here?
I ran into when I got out the Marine Corps about 2 years after I got out, I was working at a gym, and I ran into one of my Marines there, like, what are you doing here? And I was working at a gym in a really small town just outside of Orlando. Okay. So like of all places to run into you, like, what are you doing in this gym like right now? So it's right. And then with the work that I'm doing now, I come across so many other dope veterans that it feels like I was like, these are my new brothers and sisters that I'm coming in contact with. And although we just may have met now, you know what I'm saying? It feels like we still have that instant camaraderie and that bond too. So it's almost like an extended family.
No, I love it. And that's what definitely makes certain experiences a lot better. The unexpected ones. So, But hey, as you know, we got a certain format how we like to stick to here on the Veteran Influencers Podcast. So we're going to go all the way back. I want to know what baby Yaritza was like. You know what I'm saying? Little baby Yaritza in the Bronx, the boogie, you know? What was life like growing up in an early life, as a younger age, and then also your experience while being in the Bronx, New York?
And the boogie down. So I was born in the Bronx, of course, like represent. It was great. I mean, I was in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day.
No, I'm just kidding.
But to me, I mean, my mom, she did a phenomenal job, and so did my dad. They were there when I was in the Bronx growing up as a kid, and they definitely sheltered us from the things that were happening in the Bronx. So to me, my childhood was great. I mean, I had a good time, a lot of fun. When I grew up a little bit, got to like 7, 8 years old, we moved to Connecticut. Okay. And that's where I became a Patriots fan.
Hey.
New England Patriots.
So hold on. Are you a Brady fan or a Patriots fan? Because there's a difference.
Both.
Oh, so you're going to support him no matter where he goes, and you'll always support the Patriots?
Yes, always.
Hey, shout out to non-bandwagoner. Thank you.
It's terrible. No, but moved to Connecticut, and I was just a kid, man. I enjoyed my youth. I was always outside playing sports or playing games or camping here or in the woods building up fort. Like, I definitely enjoyed my youth. I used to get poison ivy and lice every summer from playing in the woods, and just I was an outside kid. I don't know how you say that, but I enjoyed my youth.
No, I'm just kidding.
You feel me? And that's where I started to kind of build on my legs, to be honest with you, because everyone's like, I mean, I got good size legs. Right, I mean,
they're all right. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, you a beast. You a beast with it.
They decent, you know what I'm saying? But
what sports did you play?
Soccer, basketball, softball.
You can hoop.
Not anymore, thank you.
Nah, see,
not anymore, thank you, Marine Corps. I went from playing organized ball and doing good to like doing PT, like basketball for PT, and that goes all kind of organized basketball skill. Yeah.
No, that's how people get injured. I stay away. Listen, anybody that's hooping and go fasters, nah, son.
Combat basketball.
I turned into jungle ball real quick.
I mean, I played a lot of different sports. I'm not real big on like distance. Like, I didn't do cross country.
Right.
I'm not a distance runner, but sprints, like track and stuff like that, all day. And it wasn't until I joined the Marine Corps that I started playing football. So,
damn.
I know. So,
is there anything you can't do?
There's a few things, but I haven't found them yet. I'm just kidding.
Damn.
And then once I start playing like women's football, forget it. Like, I stopped. I didn't pay attention to any other sports that I was into and stuff like that. Aside from doing a couple like beer leagues, like, you know, softball leagues out in town here and there. Once I learned how to play football, put like them pads on, I fell in love.
Okay. Well, so we talked a little bit about the early life, you know, growing up in the Bronx. So is the Bronx what everybody says it is? Like, is it? Okay, hold on. What part of the Bronx did you grow up in?
In the South Bronx.
Like South Bronx, the South.
Yes, where I grew up was over like off of 172nd and Walton Avenue. My dad, once we left the Bronx, and you know, my dad and my grandmother, they ended up staying over like near the Yankee Stadium area. So, yeah, it's the Bronx. I don't know how else to explain that, but if you're from the area, you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Bronx. It's everything that you would imagine and more.
Is it as rough as everybody says it is?
Of course it is, but it's also very good. There's good people that live there. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Just like they say in the Marine Corps, it's always at 10%, right? There's always those folks that are gonna they're out to do and benefit themselves, and they don't care who they affect. That's in every neighborhood. There's a couple of extra ones in the Bronx. I'm just saying it's a little bit extra in the Bronx, so watch out where you're going. But at the end of the day, there's great people. I was just up there not too long ago, and I was lost. I wasn't sure which direction I was going in, and you know, a lot of people in the neighborhood, can you help me how to get to this train, or how do I get to this block? And people are real cool, you know what I'm saying? They're real quick to help you out if you need something. So
that's what's up. I love hearing stuff like that, because all too often, you know, I don't even want to say ghettos and stuff, because I don't want to sound.
Yeah, my dad lives in the projects, like, yes.
Okay. Hey, you said it, I'm going to say it, you know.
It is the hood, and there's like, you know, you go your neighborhoods they're real dirty, and you can tell, like, let's just keep it moving, not stop in this neighborhood. But then you also know, like, I mean, some really good people come from some of like the worst circumstances, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's just all they can afford right now. That's all I can afford. So I have to live in this area. And like, you can't blame somebody or shame them, because that's what they can afford right now. Cause maybe they stacking up on the other end, but we're so quick to be like, oh, you're from the slums. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, man, there's a lot of Jay-Z came from the projects. You feel me? Like,
talk about it.
Big Pun's from the hood in the
talk about it.
Like, I mean, and I'm not trying to like, you know, give shout outs to some of these like, you know, famous folks that, you know, everybody might not agree with, but like, yo, they came from the hood. They ended up, you know, focusing on their dream and their purpose. And although whether or not you like their music or not, or whether or not you like their music or their movies or not, they still did it. They pushed forward on their dreams, and they came out of that circumstance. And like, so yeah, like the Bronx is a little bit grimy, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got on the Timbs and the fitteds, but there's some amazing families there. There are beautiful people. There's a great sights to see. There's a lot of architecture and history of the Bronx as well too. So I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff there, a lot of good history, and of course the Yankees, Papi. You know what I'm saying? Que lo que hay for my New York Yankees. You know what I'm saying? My veins are pinstripe blue. You know what I'm saying? Like all day, but
I love it.
People get mad because I'm a Patriots fan too. So
hey, you be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of. You know. No, that's dope. So, you know, growing up in the Bronx, I'm sure you learned, like, I don't know. I always felt that, you know, depending on where you grow up, sometimes you learn lessons a little bit faster than others, and it kind of forces you to grow up a little bit faster than others as well. So there's, just like you said, like, there's always, with the bad that people talk about, there's always the good, you know, that you can get from any situation. So that's definitely good. So did you ever visit like anyone, like any of the rappers, like areas? Like, oh, yo, that's where KRS-One grew up. Oh, yo, that's Big Pun's old hideout, son.
Just recently when I was up in New York, I just happened to fall upon that Big Pun mural down in the Bronx, and like, it was cold, man. It's brick up there right now. And my phone, the last I had checked, was at like, 30-something%. When I pulled my phone, because I'm like, yo, the Big Pun mural, no one was around to like, take the photo of me. And I was just like, oh, like, what do I do? It's cold. Nobody's outside. I pull my phone out. It's like at like 5%. And I'm like, no. I would manage to like, fire off like maybe 3 photos, and boom, my phone just died. Just believe me. But there's a lot of stuff that trip was super last minute. It was just like I was going in, checking on the family, and popping back out. But that made me realize how much I need to go back and just kind of find more. Like, I just want to learn more about the city, you know what I'm saying? And get lost on purpose and just notice, like I said, the architecture sometimes in the buildings. I took this humanities class a couple years ago, and at first I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I in this class? But when they start breaking stuff down about like, architecture and what this kind of, shelving means, and like where this comes from and where this design comes from, and you start to look into the buildings, because New York is one of those cities that people were coming in from all over the world. So they're bringing in all of their styles and like putting it into this like city, and
love it.
How it's evolved over the decades. And like, it's just dope to see that. And as a New Yorker, you don't recognize it because you grow up with it, and you're in it, you're immersed in it, you don't recognize it. Since I've been out of the city for so long, going back to it now,
right?
I feel like the only like tourist, I was just like, look at this beautiful place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is that Big Punisher?
Yeah.
Yo. So when you were growing up, did you have any brothers and sisters?
I do. I have 2 brothers and a sister. I'm number 3 out of 4. So it's my brother, my sister, myself, and then my little brother.
Okay.
My big brother and sister really like took care of me. I was, believe it or not, super sweet, super quiet, very innocent. My mom used to have to tie. I know. It was the Marine Corps. This all changed after
I'm kidding. You
can ask my mom. Yeah, my mom used to have to tie cat bells to me, so that she knew where I was in the house. I was so quiet.
Okay.
Let me down with my toys, and she was like, Yaritza, like, and she was like, all right. She was like,
hiding under the couch behind us.
Growing up, yeah, the only real problem that my mom had with me growing up was my grades, and it was just because I was so busy playing sports that I wouldn't do my homework. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't have to worry about me with like boys, because I was such an ugly duckling growing up. Like,
stop it.
Bangs, braces, like. I was, the homie. I was the girl that always got picked first, playing sports or, on the teams and stuff like that. I was just such a tomboy growing up. Like I said, I enjoyed my youth. So my brother and sister, like, they kind of sheltered me and they protected me whenever somebody would pick on me and stuff like that. Because I got picked on a lot as a kid because I'm so tiny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm saying, like, I was tiny.
Yeah. It ain't sweet. It ain't sweet around here,
Yeah, right?
I can't do that no more.
You feel me? And that was same thing even through high school. I was just a nerdy athlete. I mean, the only reason I was like somewhat popular in my school was because of the sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I was known. But other than that, like, was not like in the pretty girl crew or the ones that were always getting invited to like the party. Nah, man, like.
And that's honestly, and that's cool because
I'm so grateful for that. So grateful for that.
Yeah, people would people used to try to talk crap to me because I hung out with what they call them, the goths or whatever. I didn't like hanging out with the athletes because I mean, I played sports, basketball, track, all that stuff, whatever. But I didn't fit in with the athletes because like most of them were all stuck up and stuff, or some of the same ones that I went to school with, they were in the system for years, way before me. So it's like they knew the coaches might as well have been on the first name basis. They all knew each other's families and stuff like that. And I've never been a follower. I've always been a standalone type person. And I just wasn't. So I used to sit by myself. One of my boys, Ted, rest in peace to him. He's the one that came over and he would sit with me at lunch and stuff like that. And I ended up working with him at McDonald's coming up. And those are the people that I resonated with because they were always real. We were all like, I don't know if you would call me popular. I didn't want to be, but we were all like kind of outcasts type people. And like you said, like people would always try to like pick fights with me because I was always skinnier until I started working out. But they didn't know I had those hands though. So I let people think, whatever, and I just kept biting the bullet and I would just always walk away from things or sometimes it would like just kill me because I'm like, dude, I want to fight this dude so bad. But, I kept walking away. So people kept trying me. But once I started like lifting weights and working out, nobody wanted problems. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was not because I was trying to be a tough guy, but it was more of now I don't have to try to always defend myself. Yes. Now people just leave me alone,
So, like in Connecticut, my older brother and sister were ahead of me in school.
Right.
When I started high school, we moved down to Florida, and like there was no history. Like nobody knew that I was Joe and Lisa's little sister. Like,
right.
There was no history of our family. All they knew was that that's the new girl from up north. And like from my accent, they knew that I was either from Connecticut or New York, one of the two. So like that alone gave me spice, right?
And the Tims, right?
Yeah, you know it, right? Oh yeah, you're killing me. Yes. So I had to carry that chip on my shoulder, like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm from up north, like, don't mess with me because, again, being as small as I was, I didn't have anybody to back me up. And now I'm in high school, and, like, the high school kids are relentless. High school kids are relentless, you know what I'm saying? And it was just hard. I got picked on a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, I definitely barked a lot, too, when I was in school. Like, I wouldn't say I got into
No. The statute of limitations is over, girl. Come on now.
At the time, I was like 4'0", you feel me? Like what honestly, how much damage could I do? Like, but because of my bark, a lot of times people would just kind of back off just because they knew I'd be like, what? Like, you might fuck me up. And this is something that I learned from my mom, because I saw my mom, there was a beef my sister had when we was in middle school with some girl. I think from school, and my mom was like, she comes home, tells my mom what happened, and my mom being like the typical, we straight from New York, and we're like, what? My mom's like, all right, bet. She puts my sister's hair in a braid, like, we're gonna go do this. You wanna fight her? We're gonna go fight in the park, make sure her mom is there. And like, when the girl's mom came out, my mom's tiny too, like, she towered over all of us. And I was just like, oh, fuck, like, we're about to go to the doctor. We get
boom.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us are small. So, like, the girl was bigger than my sister. That lady was so much bigger than my mom. And my mom just walked up to her and she was like, who the fuck do you think you are talking to my daughter like this? And sorry, I need to curse. She was like, yo, you know what? You might put me in the hospital bed, but you might put me in the hospital, but you're going to be in the fucking bed right next to me. And I was like, little people can do that?
Yeah.
Like, what? And yeah, immediately, like, Mighty Mouse, like, here I come to save the day. I did that. That woman became Wonder Woman to me that day. I was just like, what? And ever since then, when we moved down to Florida, I had to, like, defend myself in that way. I had to, act big. I had to carry myself big so that big people would leave me alone. And it fucking worked.
Yeah.
It fucking worked so much. And then when I joined the Marine Corps, they really taught me how to walk around like that and how to back it up. So I was like, fucking what? Like, this is exactly where I need to be.
Damn, that's what's up. So
I have wanted to be a Marine since I was like little.
I was just about to ask about that. So, you kind of went over like your younger years and also like in high school being short. And I can definitely resonate to that because I'll tell you what, even though like I'm like 6'2" right now, but my freshman year, I was like 5'5" or 6. Like I was short, you know what I'm saying? I was always skinny too. So, you know, your boy just happened to hit a growth spurt. Mm-hmm. Hey, but so going from that to where did the Marine Corps kind of come in? I know you said that you were kind of influenced and you kind of wanted to be a Marine since you were young, but like what was it that was the deciding factor? You're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to join the Marine Corps.
I had known since I was like 5.
And that was your first choice?
Yeah, my dad's Marine. Not that he preached it. Not that my dad rarely talked about the Marine Corps. I remember, I'm about to date myself again. Old school Marine Corps commercials, the chess game. Like it was a chess commercial, the old school Marine Corps commercial. And I remember that thing came on one time and my dad made us all stand at attention and salute the TV. And he's like, hoorah! Like every time that commercial came on, we had to like salute the TV. But if an Army, Navy commercial came out, like click, and he would say some derogatory on it.
Oh, hey.
Like click and change the TV. Oh, wait, let me change it. Click, click. We would change the TV. The Army, Navy commercial finished. Blah, blah. Now, if a Marine Corps commercial came on, like I said, we stand up and we just stand there during the fucking commercial. Hey,
big shout out to my Air Force, my Army, my Navy, Coast Guard, all that good stuff.
Our commercials are just always the best, son.
I'm not gonna lie. I like the dragon one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite ones. I forgot when. I think they aired it at the Super Bowl or something. Or like I forgot where they aired it.
Climbing the mountain, fighting with the fucking sword. Oh, sorry.
I was young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was another one that. So like my dad raised us doing that a little bit, not very much. This was just a little bit here and there. And then when I moved to Florida, that's when like I saw that Super Bowl commercial came out. Like, what is this sword fighting? And then I had never heard of junior ROTC, and like the high school that I went to just happened to have it in its Marine Corps ROTC. Like I was like, oh, Chesty, is that you?
Yeah.
Is that you, Open so, my sophomore year, I jumped in on that class and I just started to learn more about the history and like the structure of it. And I fucking fell in love, man. I'm like, this is exactly what I need to be doing. And, well, the instructors for ROTC classes are like retired master sergeants, retired sergeant majors. They're chill. Like to me, I was like, this is exactly what I need to be. And the recruiters that were coming at the time they looked like G.I. Joes. Like, what is that? Like, that's what the Marines look like? Like, look at this uniform. This is exactly where I need to be. Like, cause then, you see like the Army dudes, again, no offense to my brothers and sisters out there, but like, you see the Army recruiters coming through, the Air Force guys, and it was great to see that. I mean, that's just a presence that they all carry with them.
Right. Man,
I tell you what, them Marines be walking in and everybody just got to stop, right?
Oh, okay.
That's how I just fell in love with it. I was like, how the sergeant major that you were just recently talking to was, I was a recruiter's dream. Like, sign me up. Like, I want to go now. Like, we can't even talk to you. You're too young. Like, I had to wait until like the end of my junior year to even start talking to the recruiter. I was volunteering in there doing like admin paperwork, helping them out, like with just minor admin stuff around the office.
Nice.
Just to be around them because I was that much of a motard. And then I loved it. It was so good. But because of that, I was always playing sports, the athletes and all my buddies and all that stuff kind of pulled me a little bit away from the ROTC, where I'm pretty sure I could have probably done a lot better with that had I stuck with it.
Right.
I learned how to juggle both. Because to be honest with you, this is before the WNBA. I think the WNBA was just coming to light, and that was just starting to happen for women's sports. And I honestly would tell myself, like, I'm going to be the first woman to be in the NBA. Like, I was just all about it, like basketball. Like, I was like, I'm going to be either that or I'm going to be in the Olympics as a track star. Like, this is me, like Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Let's do this. Like, let's go. Like, I'm down to, I thought I was going to be like a major athlete. Like, that was the plan. So
Jackie, a bad woman.
Yeah. Well, what?
She a bad woman.
What? And then like the WNBA started happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. This is my calling. I have to go do this. But then I don't know what clicked my senior year. I realized like maybe I'm not as good as I think I am in sports. Yeah. You feel me? Like I didn't get that scholarship I was banking on, and I don't know, like just going to the recruiter's office and seeing everything that they were doing at the time. Like, yo, let's do this, man. I signed up one day while I was just helping them out in the office. Did everything, took everything my senior year. I graduated in May. By September, I was on my way to Paris Island.
And so, where'd you get recruited out of? The Bronx? Is there some?
No, Kissimmee here, just outside of Orlando.
Okay. Oh, okay. Awesome. So, you know, so you go to Parris Island in 99. And obviously, you know, you do your follow-on schools.
Don't the motherland where the real Marines are made.
Watch it. Oh, you want to play that game? Hey, 99. Everybody do your math. Do your math. She joined at 18.
This season. Yeah, man, I had to endure the sand fleas in the swamp of Parris Island. And trust me, when I hit the fleet, I was in San Diego. So y'all Hollywood Marines definitely introduced me to them hills and altitudes that I had never experienced in my life. So
and real Marines, but that's cool. We'll let that slide. I'm just playing.
I know, right? It's a constant fight. But that was at least my fight. Like that's how I was able to defend myself. Like, man, this is where I was born, but this is where I was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was born in the swamp, but I was raised up in the hills. So it was, I think that it's something that everybody should, you know, try to accomplish at some point in their life. You know what I'm saying?
No, I like it. So
not for everybody.
So how would you explain, or how would you give us some type of imagery of your younger years in the military? Like, you know, from, you know, probably like E1 to E3, from school to E1 to E3. What was your experience like? Where you're like, was it intimidating? Was, you know, was it easy for you to fit in?
Yes. Everything you're saying, yes. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it was super intimidating. Again, like I was saying earlier, like I was a little bit of an ugly duckling. And not to discredit myself, because you know what I'm saying, but like my sister's beautiful. My sister's got green eyes, blonde hair. She and I are polar opposites. So she was the pretty popular athlete. And I was just like the rugged, the one that's always like, you know, falling and busting their chops and having a busted lip and like that athlete, you know what I'm saying? So, and because that wasn't my thing. I was too much of a tomboy. So when I hit the fleet, for the first time in my life, I was being approached by men and all the time. And I'm not used to that kind of attention.
Hold on real quick. So I don't know how I'm going to phrase this, and I hope there's not people getting mad about this. So that's like an actual thing, like to where good looking women don't get approached, and not like this is a lot of good looking women's like first times really getting approached in their life is in the Marine Corps.
That was the worst. It was the
what?
Again, because I had not, you know, the boys that I was in high school with, we knew each other. Like I was PJ, like I was like the ugly, you know what I'm saying, the braces, Rick James bangs. Like they didn't pay no mind to me. When I'm hitting the fleet, you know what I'm saying? Like I got, like, first of all, when we pulled up in MOS school, it was insane. Like almost every window had a head or two pop up when our bus pulled up, and like, yo, the new joins are here. The new joins are here. And you hear the men say, yo, fresh meat on deck. You can ask almost any woman Marine, and they can tell you an experience to some degree, like that's close to that. Same thing when I hit the fleet. You know, oh, we got new joints on deck, there's fresh meat, and you hear the guys.
Hold on real quick. I'm not saying because of you, but I just want everybody to know that, one, I've never done that, and two, I am not condoning people looking at a woman as fresh meat, like at all.
And not all Marines are the same, like again, but there are that 10%, right? I'm sure that it's a little bit higher than 10%, but there are those guys that are out there, and that's what they're looking for as soon as a new woman's on deck.
That's like some predator type stuff, man.
Very much. It's very much. And, you know, I'm barely 18. Like and now and these are men that are coming at me that are privates and PFCs to staff NCOs. I'm not kidding. And like, how do I'm at the PX and play it again. Yo, yes.
What?
Staff sergeant, like what? Or like I'll go to the gym and I'm PTing, and you know, I'm again giving like big shout out to my legs. Like again, I'm in silkies and like I got like staff NCOs saying super inappropriate things to me or making comments or just the way that they're looking at you. I'm just like, it makes me want to put on the baggiest of clothes, and like that sucks. Or like, hey, come here, young Lance Corporal, let me take you under my wing. You know, I'll teach you the ropes. Not realizing that this guy has ulterior motives. Yeah, and it's looking back at it now, like, that's so frustrating because, you know, didn't know better. I'm like, oh, like he's being such a good sergeant. He's being such a good staff sergeant. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna look out for me. Not realizing that, you know, within a couple weeks later, a couple days later, a couple weeks later down the road, hey, so what's good? Let's go out and hang out and like let's go on a date. Like, no, I don't want to do that. And then now I'm on fucking firewatch. Now I'm on shit duty. Now I'm having all these like now I'm on the working party and like that. So from PFC to Lance Corporal, working party central, because I have a mouth on me. And I don't mind doing something, but why? Why do I have to do this? Oh, now you want to question me. Now you're gonna do extra, but like this. The punishment doesn't fit the what I was late. Like what? It makes no sense that you're putting me on all these shit details when just because I didn't want to go out with you, or whenever we would go out, because back in the day on Pendleton, on Thursday nights we would go down to Miramar for Latin night. You know what I'm saying? And come on, I'm body. You know what I'm saying? You know, I would get pulled into that group and we would go down there, and because I would bump into maybe, you know, the motor T sergeant, or I would bump into like somebody, an NCO from another unit, or even the NCOs from my unit, and I would bump into them at the club, and because I don't want to drink with them or dance with them, come Monday morning or whenever I bump into them at work, now I'm getting like real crap attitude from them. Like, really?
I'm sorry you have to deal with that. You know, I'm gonna be honest, like I wasn't the best at empathizing for situations like that, you know, early on. But as I move up throughout the Marine Corps, like, you know, I start getting my own like female Marines in my unit and, you know, in my shop. And, you know, I would say the Marine Corps definitely helped me to develop more empathy towards certain situations. And that's one of them, you know, so.
But it was dope. I also, being a East Coaster, like being on the West Coast now is super huge culture shock.
Right.
Some of my buddies that I went to MOS school are from Long Beach, you know what I'm saying, LA area. So it was dope because, you know, they took me in as their little sister, as we're supposed to, right? And it was great to be able to come up in the ranks with them, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were in MOS school together and see these guys and they're teaching me about their culture out in Cali, and you know, I'm learning about the infamous Hollywood Marines and like their struggles, you know. So it was dope. I love being able to be a part of the brotherhood. And I'm saying that with intent. Like it felt so good to be a part of that brotherhood.
Right.
So like, and I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying? Especially since I always got in trouble. Like I had to learn the hard way with stuff. So like, I wasn't, yeah, I was just on them working parties, man. Just I get blisters on my hand from sleeping and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So it was great. My experience as a troop was good. Right. I do know though that there were a lot of opportunities that I missed out on because I'm a woman, and that's insane. Like, oh well, and this happened throughout my entire career. Well, I don't want you to go to this school because, you know what I'm saying, we want to keep something in the office nice to look at. Like, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
Please tell me you're joking. That is absolutely disgusting. And
yeah. Yes. And again, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, me? Like, what the are you kidding me right now? Like, what?
Like, your superiors were saying that?
Yeah, there's so few and far. I mean, women, there's one of us to every like 60 to 200 of the men, right? So I could understand that there's only one woman in the shop, but still, like, you know, or because, we're not going to send you to, you know, to this op, or we're not going to send you on this mute because, you know, we need to send someone who's like a guy who's physically strong, because like, you're not going to be able to hump those hoses, or you're not going to be able to, like, what the?
How do you feel comfortable saying that? Like, about anybody? I don't give a damn how fine anybody is. How do you feel comfortable? And like, it's so easy for you to say, like, no fear of repercussion, like no fear of like that you're hurting someone's feelings, or that, you know, you're in the complete wrong, but it's just natural. That is so disgusting. Like,
it's a culture and a behavior that has been, it's been encouraged for years, though, if you think about it. It's in every, it's like that in colleges. It's like that in business, in corporate America. It's that level of power. And I hate to say this, but when that Me Too movement stuff cracked open, like really bad a couple years ago, it was almost a sense of relief for not just myself, but almost every other woman veteran that I know, because we're like, oh, finally they're gonna start listening. Because if they listen to the other humans, and like finally they're gonna start listening to us military folk. Because if y'all think that the Me Too movement is bad, we do this shit on a military level. Like, and it sucks that we've lost, again, so many good Marines and so many good soldiers because of, shitty leadership or, because of stuff like that and being in uncomfortable situations. Like, I don't want to work with you because you make me feel uncomfortable in my own skin. Like, I'm literally wearing the same clothes you're wearing and you're still making me feel like, like that's insane to me. That didn't make any sense. I still wouldn't know how to register all that attention. I was telling my mom crying, like, I'm bawling my eyes. She's like, what's wrong? Like thinking that something's on fire. Like I don't know what to do. Like these men are coming at me and I don't know what to say. And then, I was dating my kid's dad at the time. And, that was really hard for me because I'm huge on honor, courage, and commitment, right? Like loyalty and all that stuff was still really big. I mean, it still is very big, but what do you mean? I'm not going to sit there and try to, my kid's dad is like, I'm talking to this guy and dating someone like, oh, I don't care. Like, and they'll just say mad derogatory stuff towards you. So it's hard, man. It was hard looking back at it now. It's difficult to be a woman in a very male dominant environment, especially like the military, especially at that time. I mean, I know there's a lot of changes that are happening right now, which I am so ecstatic for. And I wish I was able to be a part of the Marine Corps during these changes. And looking back at it, I wish I would have spoken up more because I know that the changes probably could have started happening a little bit earlier.
Right.
But we are trained, we are taught, did you hurt yourself? Rub some dirt on it, put a Band-Aid on it, keep it moving. Like, don't show weakness, keep pushing forward. Like, if you're fine, are you dying? No, then you're fine, keep going. Like, are you hurt or are you injured? Like, which is it? So how do I express to all of my NCOs, they're men, how do I tell them, like, this guy's making me feel uncomfortable? Because then what am I going to be told? Like, suck it up, dude. Like, it's just a compliment. Like, you should be happy that guys are giving you attention. Like, all right. So then we stop voicing all these issues, we stop voicing all of these, just live with it, man. Like, that's just how things are. And I mean, that's how things are since we were kids. You feel me? Like, it maybe not as intense, but once I hit the fleet, it was really apparent that that's how things were going to be. So you just learn how to deal with it and keep it moving.
I'm glad you're saying this right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to get flack I don't give a damn because this needs to get said. I've heard so many stories being a UVA as well. And just being a leader, like especially being a staff NCO, even as a sergeant, so many like female Marines I've like felt comfortable telling me things that like, I'm just like, in the beginning, it was shocking because I've never had women tell me certain things and they were so open about it. They just felt comfortable telling me this.
Yes. And again, it goes both ways too. So just as men do that, like there are plenty of women that do it just as much. Right. And like, just to hear some of my women counterparts say some of the stuff, I was like, what is coming out of your face right now?
I just don't get it. Like I don't know. It breaks my heart to hear things like that, and, to see that there are females, whatever service, just females in general, whether you're in the service or not, have to deal with that. It's absolutely disgusting. And like, I've never promoted like any of that type of stuff. I don't even feel comfortable catcalling a woman I don't know. I never understood that. Like you're whistling at a female that you don't even know.
What is
I hope she has a brother.
Turn around and be like, ooh, who's calling me? Who's what? That's not going to attract me.
Oh, you like my shorts? Oh, thank you. Like, that doesn't work like that,
What it will do though, I will turn around and pull one of these, like, who just whistled that? You feel me? Like,
catch his hands?
Right. So like, that's something, but again, that's like a generational cultural thing. It's something that we've literally been raised in watching in movies and in shows, and it's something that's always been encouraged or accepted as acceptable behavior because boys will be boys. And it's insane, like how much we tell, boys will be boys, that's how they are. But women, since we're little, I've been told, like, no, stop acting like that. Act like a lady, act like a princess. Since we're little, we're told that. But boys are like, oh, he's just being a boy. Boys will be boys. And like, we're raised in that type of culture. So I feel that women are just, we have to become more mature. That's why they say that women are more mature than men, is because from a small age, we are taught to be like, to show poise and to be presentable and to, you know, not act like, you know, be a fucking rambunctious kid. But boys can. Like, boys would climb. Don't get me wrong, so did I. I don't know. My mom always knew that I had to wear skirts under all of my dresses whenever she would force me. She had to force me to wear a dress. Yeah. Like, why am I being a girl right now? Like,
I don't like it.
Like, as a kid, I'm like, camo paint with dirt. Like, yeah, let's get it. Yeah, like, fucking, like, just swinging through vines. And that's how it was as a kid, but not enough girls were encouraged to be like that as kids, you know what I'm saying? And now in the Marine Corps, now I gotta deal with all these knuckleheads talking to me like that. And I still gotta look good in my uniform and perform my job, just like my male counterparts, if not better, just so that y'all can tell me I'm a good Marine.
Nah, don't say y'all. I know what you mean, though. I know. Just kidding.
And when I say y'all, I just want to say that I'm not referring to any of you guys specifically, because I'm sure that the audience that you have right now does not fall into these categories. You know what I'm saying? Like, the audience right now, these are people that are go-getters. The people that you talk to, the people that you're impacting right now with all these shows, these are the go-getters. These are the people that are making influence. These are the folks that are going to go out and do something and to continue on the legacy of Marines. You know what I'm saying? To continue on the legacy of the folks that I'm referring to, like these dirtbags are not folks that probably are listening to this right now.
No, I understand. And like, to kind of go on with your point, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack for this too. Is like, I never agreed. I've never liked the concept of having these like little child pageants, these like kid beauty contests. Yeah. I'm seeing like some 6-year-old like girl being put in makeup and skirt.
My guy, I don't even do this now. Why would I want a 6-year-old doing
that? Like, I'd love to hear other people's opinions. Let me know in the comment section. I'm not sure I'm going to change my opinion on that. I probably won't, but that's disgusting to me. Like a kid in a beauty pageant. Nah, I'm not a fan of that at all.
And like, you're putting like so much makeup on and pressure on how they look as a little tiny kid. Man, when my kid started talking about makeup when she was like, "Oh, mom, makeup like you," like, no, you're not allowed to wear makeup ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then do I want to like shun that and like not let her be and express herself and be cute and pretty and stuff like that? But I think kids are taught at such a young age, they're not able to be kids. They're too busy trying to be cute. Like, there should be zero like animal print or lace kid size anything ever.
Hold on. Hide your kids, hide your wife. That's facts right there.
Lace or animal print on a child size. What? For what? I was like, I want to look sexy. Like, what? Like, when you see little kids, I've seen kids.
No.
Have you seen little girls right now? They have like high heels.
No, I absolutely have not. And that's the last thing I've seen. I
don't even wear high heels. I'm a full grown woman and I don't even like wearing. Like, what? Why are we teaching these girls how to do? Let them be kids. Let them get lice and poison ivy and gum in their hair and let them go bitty. And you know what I'm saying? Like, let them fucking be kids and be playing outside in the dirt and have scars. Like, that's okay. But we're so focused on, you know, looking cute and posing for a photo here, there. And it's just that we take away that innocence from them so quick now. It's ridiculous.
You know what's crazy that somebody mentioned, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but he definitely did bring up some good points. Or like, man, do you ever notice that there's way more male mechanics than female? Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'm with you. Like, where are you bringing this to? He's like, well, if you notice as a kid, they, you know, a lot of toys are targeted to females are like dolls and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm with you. And I kind of understand where he was going with that. He's like, well, women are taught how to be nurturers from like a young age because it's kind of in their, you know, it's in their body is made to have kids. They're taught as a young age, so they have practice over the years. They get taught how to take care of dolls, like their hair. They get taught how to dress them, like almost like you're doing the same thing with a kid. And they have little babies where now they cry if you don't feed them every so often and stuff like that. So, but with dudes, they give them cars and stuff, right? Cars are cool. You keep force feeding them cars. So dudes end up becoming kind of obsessed with cars. And how come women can't be obsessed with cars? Like, why do we shun females away from cars or doing the things that are for boys. You can't see all the air quotes, but boys.
For sure. You know? Yeah. And then like, for example, when we had Samantha, like, you know, when I hand the baby over to her dad, like he's holding this like a football. Like he doesn't know, you know what I'm saying? And for the most part, all of my brothers in the Marine Corps are the same way. Like you give them a baby and they're like, what do I do with this? I'm gonna drop it, because they haven't been taught since adolescence to hold a child, to like care for another life. And that's insane. Mm-hmm. And then we get mad at them for not being like, how could you not be a fucking champion at this? Like, and men are just like, yo, I've never played with a doll before. You know what I'm saying? But if boys are playing with dolls, don't be a girl. That's girl stuff. Like, what? No, teach them how to carry babies and be nurturers when they're kids. It doesn't make him, that doesn't change anything about the kid's sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You're just teaching the little boy on how to be a nurturer. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And the whole pink and blue stuff. And my favorite color is blue. It's always been blue, but my mom was steady, always try to like put me in something somewhere girly. You know what I'm saying? So like, fine, I'm gonna wear this red dress. I am wearing my zebra striped sneakers all day. Like,
you know what it is though? It's our eyes read certain colors, and then it makes you think and feel a certain way. That's why like people market themselves the way they do. That's why Apple picks silver for, you know, it's supposed to not luxury.
That's why I have purple hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a great marketing tool. You're not going to forget the chick with the diesel legs and the purple hair.
Oh, you got those legs in there though, huh? But you know, when people think of blue, or when people, I mean, look at Best Buy. Best Buy, one of the reasons why they're so successful is because when people see that big purple and yellow building, the yellow sticks out. Purple is like, I think is luxury. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you think that you're getting, and do you remember Circuit City? Mm-hmm. Why do you think Circuit City failed? One of the reasons is because Circuit City their marketing was so dark. Everything was dark about Circuit City. The inside, the lights were so dim. I'm like, bro, what is this? And everything looked so plain. And the outside was this dark maroon, like, yeah. What? So I read all about Circuit City. That's great. Circuit City was like a mixture of.
No, remember Radio Shack?
Oh yeah, Radio Shack. But
I needed Radio Shack until after they closed. I'm like, damn, I need to get this one cable that I know Radio Shack, and there's no more.
Amazon, everything.
Thanks a lot, Jeff Bezos.
But no, so okay. That's honestly, I didn't think it was gonna turn like that for the beginning of your, you know, military career, but I'm glad to be able to hear that. And there's nothing wrong with it. You have an incredible story, and I know a lot of people, not just females, but a lot of people are gonna resonate to that type of story. Oh, yeah. There's probably things that they've probably seen as well, and they're like, yeah, I probably could have stopped it, or yeah, I've seen that or experienced that as well. So what about like the middle time, like from NCO? So actually, what rank did you get out as?
As a sergeant.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's not.
Sergeants are the ish.
I'm a second award sergeant.
Hey, that's okay. You know,
I thought that the Marine Corps needed more corporals, so I was like, yo, time out, let me go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me work this rank again, build it up. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, backbone. And then I went back to sergeant.
Hey, let them know. Okay, so like, what was your like the middle to last portion of your military career? What was that? What was that experience like?
So right after we got back from Iraq in 2003, I had got out the Marine Corps for a little bit of time.
Okay.
First, they were keeping everyone for stop loss. Remember when that whole?
Oh, I remember that.
So like they kept too many people and they filled up our boat spaces. So my EAS is September. Fiscal year kicks off in October, right?
Okay.
So the prior service was like, yo, just get out for a couple of weeks and come right back. Easy day. Not so much. With as many stop loss folks that we had, and as many, because this is 2003. The Americans were still extremely patriotic. Like recruiters, I mean, people were, you know, knocking down doors. So I needed to wait a little bit longer. And then, I mean, I had already started playing football at that time. So I was playing football, I was working at in corporate America in San Diego for a little bit. And I just fine. Like, y'all don't want me no more? Fine. Like, I'll just go do my own thing over here. And I separated. I got out for about like 3
I'll show them.
I was out for about like 2-3 years. And at a house party, one of my girlfriends was like, yo, this is my girl right here. She's in the Marine Corps. Like, y'all immediately, like, I know 2 Marines. Like, you guys are instant friends. And like most Marines were like instant friends. Like, we became Marines, like buddies. Right. She was like, yo, do you miss it? We need somebody to come back on orders, like on some temp orders for like a month. And I was like, please, like, I need some I need my fix. Yeah. So I went back on orders to work over at 1MEF, and while I was there, they're like, yo, we got orders to Tampa for a year. Do you want to take these like active reserve orders? And I was like, do I? Like, Tampa?
I got this.
So like, I had picked up corporal before I got out the Marine Corps, before we went to Iraq. So I was still a corporal when I came back in off of orders. And I was working at 1MEF at the casualty cell. So doing a lot of like the casualty reporting and stuff like that, and just kind of keeping track of the numbers of all incidents outside of the States. And I got orders to Tampa completely out of my billet. That were, I did a lot of manpower and JPER staff. So like the joint personnel status report, I kept track of all the numbers. So like on the news, when you would see, and this is between like 06 and 09. So on the news, when you would see like, we have X amount of people like in Afghanistan, Iraq, Bahrain, Germany, blah, blah, blah. I kept track of all those numbers. Okay. And then whenever there was an incident where there was any injury, it could be a broken finger from a busted coupling to, our guys getting blown up. Any kind of incident, I keep track of all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty diesel to go from, living it up in San Diego, like in the world, the regular world, to come back and be like we are in war right now. We are still very deep in war. Right. And I know between like those years, it was still extremely bloody back then. To go from living in San Diego, living it up in San Diego, to like counting these incident reports, and our guys, we're getting murked 24 hours a day. Like, I'm seeing reports, and I'm getting reports from anyone that falls under a Marine Corps unit. So they are, civilians, casualties, other branches and stuff like that involved. Like, I was having crazy nightmares. Just, I'm just reading the reports and just kind of going to sleep with all that stuff in my brain. And that was insane. Probably one of my favorite jobs though in the Marine Corps is being able to be a part of the fight, but like behind the scenes. I was working on like S1 or G1, right, manpower, stuff like that. They let me work a couple billets over in the G3 section. So I was doing some like secret squirrel stuff, and I loved it because it was stuff that you would see like on the movies, because you see like Central Command or CENTCOM in the movies. Right. That MARCENT, which is like the Marine equivalent to that. So I'm like, oh my God, it's like the movies, like the big screens. And I just felt like I was doing something that was purposeful, what I'm saying? Especially for sitting on my butt in an office in Tampa, I felt like I was still somehow helping my guys that were out there. Right. A lot of like logistical stuff and coordinating. I had a lot of fun in Tampa. That was a great duty station. That city parties like no other, man. Like, it's great.
Shout out to Tampa.
Yeah, shout out to Super Bowl champion.
Tampa Bay. Yo, you got double. You got Tampa and Tom Brady.
And Gronk. I know. Let me get the clap. Come on, let me get the clap.
Oh, okay, you want it? Hey.
Yo, big shout out to Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just doing big things out there.
Yo, so many people were hating on me, like, why do you like Tom Brady so much? I can't stand him. But one thing I noticed is most people that don't like Tom Brady don't like LeBron either. Some people don't like the idea of an alpha type person. Makes them feel kind of insecure.
So like, I'm a Knickerbocker, right? Like, I am the John Starks, Patrick Ewing era Knickerbocker. Like, I still have a John Starks jersey hanging in the closet right now. I will bust it out.
Hey, but John Starks is underrated because he doesn't have all the stats. The dude was scrappy. And he was an actual point guard. And he was one of the few point guards that actually had like a little midi. Every once in a while he could hit that three, but he had like a little mid-range shot.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I played when I played basketball. That's my basketball number and everything, like a huge John Starks fan. But I used to hate Jordan as a kid growing up. And as time passed, let me finish. That's because I'm a Knickerbocker. We just had that rivalry with the Bulls for so many years, right? But looking, I can't take away from the fact that is a phenomenal basketball player, the greatest of all time. You feel like this Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tom Brady. A lot of people hate him because of all the championships that he won.
Because he tore their teams up. That's what it is.
He sucks. Like, literally, stats don't lie. Like, just statistically, if you take away the picture, statistically, he still hit that mark. Like, how are you going to take that from him?
7 Super Bowls.
Haters, man. Haters.
Yo,
I have like a Tom Brady, like big, like fat head and everything, bro. Like, stop playing. Like, it's that bad.
Yo, that's dope, man. You had an interesting career, and I know you said that you got out after probably 12 years, and a couple of those years you did was reserve.
Yeah, so when I left Marsant, I dropped into the IRR. So I did the 1 weekend a month. I went back to my civilian job in California.
Right. And
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my foot in the door. And for the motivator that I am as a Marine, 1 weekend a month is not enough to curb that.
No good.
It was great. I met some, again, the unit that I was at, phenomenal Marines. Like, I just met a whole new branch of my family that I was in the wing, which is different for me also. I was on the ground side. I was swinging with the wing for sure, back down in Miramar. And then for about 2 years I did that, and I was just like, I can't do this 1 weekend a month. I need to come back on full orders again. Yeah. I came back on active duty, and I was just, kicking ass, just doing my thing, and just, one of the things that I got to do while one of the billets I picked up while I was in Tampa and I brought with me over to San Diego was doing like a lot of honor details. So I did a lot of funeral details and stuff like that. And if that's one thing I could recommend for any of those folks who are still on active duty to do, you need to go do at least 3 or 4 funerals. Attend one or be a part of that ceremony, because that'll be one of the most humbling things that you can do. And also probably one of the most honorable things you can do for one of our brothers and sisters that has passed on, is to be able to send them home properly. And man, that gave me a whole new perspective, because we're burying, guys that are on active duty, older guys, from World War II veterans, Vietnam veterans were given, these honors too. So I also got to do that when I was in San Diego, and just kind of finished off my time in the Marine Corps there, because while I was playing football, I ended up blowing out my knee.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
That's
how nice I am, son. I was like,
yeah. You was out there trying to do some very
Yeah, I actually just. Yo, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Yeah, man. It was intense, and I was slated. I knew that I was gonna do so good that year. But I blew up my knee. I blew up my. Bro, I was just and that just kind of sent me down a real dark path in not just my career, but just in my own mind. After that surgery, I was on a med board.
What surgery was it? ACL?
Yeah, I don't have an ACL. So I blew it out. They gave me one. They gave me another one, an aftermarket ACL from a cadaver. It just didn't heal properly. There were a couple of incidents that I was involved in that slowed down that healing process, that really hindered.
I'm nervous about the whole ACL thing. I've known so many people. Okay, I've known a couple people that have healed well and made a good recovery with a cadaver, but for the most part, because you have the option, right? The cadaver is like from like a pig or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, it came from another person.
Was it?
Well, that's what I was told. I fucking hope. But it would make sense, because after they put it in, after I got them and I blew it out. I blew out the second one that they gave me. So I was questioning maybe where they got it from. Government issued ACL.
Listen, I'm gonna do a little bit of research afterwards, because I used to know a lot of these things, but I'm pretty sure you have the option of either waiting to get a human one, or I think you get like one from an animal.
Oh.
So
okay.
I could be completely ignorant right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Maybe. So yeah, man, after I blew that out, as an athlete, I didn't realize it, but that had such a negative impact on my mental health. Because for the first time in my life, I can't go hard. I can't hit it. I can't work out. This is the first time I can't play sports. I need help. I'm not used to being able to ask for help, let alone needing it.
Right.
it just really threw me for a loop. I felt less than, as not just as an athlete, but as a Marine now, because now like I'm on light duty, I'm on a med board, and that hurts, that hurt my feelings, my ego, whatever you call it, you know what I'm saying? And where I was at, the unit that I was with, I was going through some stuff on my personal life that was really having an adverse effect on my work as well. And then you throw in the busted knee on that too. And it's unfortunate that at a lot of Marine Corps units, or a lot of units anywhere across the board, where if someone has, you have normally a good Marine coming through, and then all of a sudden their behavior changes and they start, slacking at work. They're not coming to work the same way as normal, squared away the way they normally do. And
right.
Instead of being like, hey, Marine, like, what's going on, big dog? Like, what's up? Like, how can I help you? Because I know my peers would give me a hard time, but like, stop being such a mom to the Marines. But if one of my guys starts acting weird and he's being lazy, showing up late, like having an attitude, like, what's going on at work? Or what's going on at home right now? Me and the old lady got into it because I'm on night crew. And like, you know what, man? Go home. Take the day off. Happy wife, happy life. And that is, if he is good at home, then he's going to be good at work. And at my shop, I mean, they saw that I went from like, shit hot, romping, stomping Sergeant Perez to I'm coming into work late. My uniform is not on point. And instead of recognizing that and being like, yo, what's going on? It was more like, yo, what, you get your shit together, suck it up. Like lock it up. Like, snatch, whatever. What? Why are we like this? Why are we like this with each other? And the issues that I was having so there was a domestic violence issue with the guy that I was dating at the time, not my kid's dad. And with the injury that I had and the domestic violence incident, that was on dude's fault, right? Because nasty civilians.
Right. Call him out. No, I'm just kidding.
I had, dude like went bonkers. So I moved back on base to like the bachelor, quarters and stuff like that. And dude will come on base looking for me. And like, I would tell my command, like, yo, he's leaving handprints and notes on my car. Like, stop him from coming on base. Like, oh, we can't do that because guy was prior service. Like, we can't block him. Like, you just need to suck it up. What are you doing to entice him? Like, excuse me? Like,
I'm getting mad just having this conversation with you. Like,
and I'm telling you, my gunny and my master at the time have known me since I first hit the fleet. They were with me as a fucking PFC. So these men that I'm coming to with this issue, like, yo, you guys know how I am. I was in the perfect world, I should have been a drill instructor, and I would have ended up as a first sergeant or the first female sergeant major of the Marine Corps. Like, those are my goals. Like, yeah, like that was my path, and they both knew that's how I was. So to see me coming in the way that I was, and I'm telling them like, yo, this is what's happening. Dude attacked me. I'm living on base now. I left my home, living on base, and he's still following me. Well, just suck it up. Just stop being so weak-minded. Like,
you're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking.
No. And as where I was at the time, like, that broke my heart in so many different ways, not just as a woman, but as a Marine, as a mentee. It broke my heart as a mentor. It, like, you're telling, and you can clearly see that I was not in my right Sergeant Perez mind. And for them to be like, yo, just suck it up. Just stop being so weak-minded. You're a fucking Marine, Sergeant. Suck it up. Like, I'm still a woman. Like, I'm still a human. Like, this. Obviously, there's something going on that I'm not able to handle myself. And I'm coming to leadership to ask for help. So when I get that kind of response for the first time in my life, I was like, I don't want to be a Marine anymore. So they were like, hey, you either need to, with my knee injury, they were like, you're not healing properly. You either need to have another surgery or you're going to be on another med board. I was like, I'm out. I'll take the early out. And you could ask anybody that I've ever served with, they would have told you that I would have signed the 20-year contract on day one. Like, that, this is my life, to just be a Marine. That was it. That was all I had planned. And to go through that, what I was going through at home and at work, and just to hear that level of like, that lack of loyalty, that where's the brotherhood, where's the family that you guys have been preaching to me for years? I just signed off and I had to leave the Marine Corps. And like, that was a whole nother heartbreak on its own, you know what I'm saying? And that shit was hard. I've been trained to be a Marine for the last like umpty frats amount of years. And now I'm just leaving on bad terms with a bad knee. You know what I'm saying? Like, just angry about it. And I never would have guessed that that's how my career would have ended. That's sad, man. But so many women go through that.
You know, it's so crazy because unless you've suffered like a significant injury or like an injury that's kind of not fully healed and maybe it just leads to other injuries, I'm not going to say it's impossible to empathize, but it's definitely harder to empathize with people because just like you said, like me, I broke my ankle twice, didn't want to heal. You know, I was on my second limited duty. I literally had to limp my way to just to pass a PFT in order to re-enlist because like I just wasn't healing, you know, and then
they're just like, fucking push harder, stop being like, I don't know, there's this thing called like physics, bro, like, you know, functionality of the human body. Like if I push through this pain right now, what am I going to look like at 60 years old? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are not going to be around to help me wipe my butt when I can't do that. So why are you going to push me to this level where I'm going to like injure myself permanently and you're shamed for getting hurt?
It sucks. Like
what? Like,
not being
able, we're invincible, but like,
right. Well, not being able to do the same activities as other people. And every day it's like, hey, you feeling better yet? You feeling better yet? I'm like, no, no, I'm not, you know? I don't know. I hate that people have to go through those type of experiences, especially like you said earlier, it's always the good ones that want to get out. And for some reason, like this is one of the analogies I've always lived by is why is it that, you know, when somebody wants time off or, you know, when somebody wants to come in late, it's like this. Well, why? But if I want to stay late to work, you know what I'm saying? Nobody bats an eye at that. I was like, so I can give more hours, but I can never get those hours back, you know?